Small bills, big balls. Okay, calm down. This is about SMS pricing. If you run an ecom brand and you're not taking SMS seriously in 2026, you're leaving money on the floor, not even on the table. They flew off the table, they fell off. They're on the floor. For some of you, that means as much as 6 figures a year. Now, I'm gonna show you why, and I'm going to give you some real examples that you can copy so you can pick up the money back from the floor on the table and then back into your pockets. And along the way, I'm going to tell you about a company that is something completely unhinged this year. They lowered their SMS pricing. I know, insane. So here's the announcement. Omnisend just lowered their SMS pricing to 0.7 cents per text. Now that is the lowest in the category. That is lower than Klaviyo, that's lower than Attentive, that's basically lower than anybody that does SMS marketing for e-commerce. Now, while we're here, can we please just acknowledge how rare is it for a company in 2026 to lower their prices? Like literally every other tool in your stack, I'm sure you're experiencing this too, tacked on like an annual adjustment of like 12 to 18% in the last 12 months. Like your shipping software probably went up, your reviews tool probably went up, your ad management platform went up, your gym membership went up. It's okay, I still go to the gym. It's good, it's healthy, it's good for you. Eggs went up. That one, I'm personally the most offended by it. Like the eggs going up so much, like it's generally criminal. We're gonna address that on a different channel, a different day. Omnisend, on the other hand, they went down to 0.7 cents per text. That's like a 30 to 50% reduction in your SMS cost, depending on what platform you're using. It's the same flow builder, the same automation engine, same Shopify integration, just a smaller bill. And you know what? That takes big balls. Now, here's the bigger thing though, and this is why I really wanted to make this video. SMS is like the channel that nobody's fighting for. They're like the middle child out of like 10 children. I audit ecom brands every single week, most of them in the wellness and longevity space, but this applies to pretty much everybody else. And the pattern is almost identical every single time. The brand has like 6 to 10 email flows running. If you don't have that, by the way, gotta set those up. I did a video about email flows a while ago. They're dialed in, they're segmented, they're scheduled. There's like a person whose job is email, or at least part of their job is email. There's a calendar, there's KPIs. And SMS, that's like a one sad little welcome text. And you know what, like Black Friday and Cyber Monday don't count. I know everybody's sending SMS during those times, but I'm talking about your flows. Anyway, so you have like one measly welcome. I'm not trying to offend you here, just a little bit maybe, but you have a flow, like an SMS flow from like 4 years ago. You kind of forgotten about it. Nobody owns it. Nobody's like looked at it since it was set up. Social media coordinator pretty much like hit send on it, like on a blast campaign. It's like, hey, here's like 20% off when we have like a sale, Black Friday. And like, that's like your entire SMS program. So let me give you some numbers that should make you extremely uncomfortable. Per message, SMS outperforms email marketing by 10 to 30 times. And then brands are spending like 90% of their budget on a platform that doesn't even bring in like 10% of their revenue. Now, email is not a problem here. Email is the foundation of your entire program. And I will never, ever, ever tell you to take your attention away from email marketing. But SMS is literally your star bench player that you're refusing to put in the game to play while you're losing. So why don't we talk practically here? What does good SMS actually look like? Rule number 1, SMS is not email. SMS, repeat after me, is not email, so stop treating it like email. I cannot stress this enough. I talk to brands every single week, and the story is almost the same. They have like this long SMS that starts with like, hi, welcome to our brand. And then it ends with, check out the link in our bio, or click here for whatever discount. So instead, here's the simplest way to think about it. Email is like your magazine. There's a lot in there. It's pretty. There's photos. You want to spend some time on it. SMS is like a text you get from a close friend. So you would write a quick text to your friend very differently than you write a magazine article. I know there are some friends that spam with SMS. I have those too. I am that friend too. I'm talking generally. So here's a list of things that belong in SMS. Number 1, carts expiring in 30 minutes. Tap to finish. That's it. That's the message. That's an SMS. Product they love is back in stock. Going fast, plus a link. That's it. That's a text. The drop is in 8 minutes. Code still here at checkout. One thing to know, one thing to do, no fluff, that's it. Heads up, your subscription ships on Thursday. Do you want to add or swap something? Now this one literally prints money for subscription brands. Half of our customers will ask something, literally half. I do that with my meat subscription. Every time my meat subscription ships, they're telling me, hey, Sandra, your subscription ships in a few days. Do you want to add one of these like beautiful add-ons at checkout? Of course, I'm gonna add some eggs and some salmon and more eggs. I know they're expensive. Now, here's a list of things that absolutely do not belong in SMS. Long founder stories. If you're writing about your childhood, that belongs in an email. A welcome to our world message. 7 emojis, no link. I am going to scream. A 4-paragraph message on a shipping delay. Just refund the people, save the speech. The full monthly newsletter shrunk down to your max character limit. Oh my goodness, please stop, don't do that. The test is generally this simple. If your text takes more than 4 seconds to read while someone has their phone in one hand and doing something else with the other hand, you wrote an email, it's too long. Just send the email. Stop forcing it through a channel that is not meant for that and then saying, SMS doesn't work. All right, so time for the practical part now. If you're running an e-commerce brand and you want to know what SMS you should send, here are some SMS plays that I would build immediately. In this order. Play 1, the welcome SMS. Now this is a text that someone receives the moment they opt in. Not 3 hours later, not 24 hours later. They get a text within 60 seconds. Their attention is at peak right now. The only caveat I'm going to have here is if someone subscribes at an ungodly hour, and then different countries have different laws. So please review that with your current country. That is the only exception I will make, and I'll say, okay, they have to receive that the next day in the morning. But other than that, you're going to send a text immediately that's going to read, hey Sandra, welcome. Here's your 15% off code XYZ. Can reply stop to opt out anytime. That's the whole message. That's it. That's just a very direct brand voice. It tells the reader what it is, offers a real reward, and offers an option to opt out. The brands that are doing this right now are seeing a 20 to 30% of their new subscribers purchase something within the first 7 days of subscribing, which if you think about it is like wild conversion math. Play number 2. Now this is your browse abandonment. Now most brands will run a cart abandonment. You have to have a cart abandonment, like no discussion there. But your browse abandonment is going to catch people early. It's going to catch people while they're still thinking about it, while they're still researching. And it usually converts at about 8 to 15%. That is like wildly high. So your text should be something like, hey, texted you because you've been looking at product page for 3 minutes. What's holding you up? Then just sending them a link to the page. Now, that feels pretty personal in an SMS, and an email might feel a little bit like stalking. For an SMS, it can work really well. Play number 3 is going to be your cart abandonment, which is going to complete your email. You want your cart abandonment email to go out like an hour after someone abandoned a cart, and then you want your text to go out about 4 hours after someone abandoned your cart. This one again has to be super simple. Something like, hey, looks like you didn't get a chance to finish. Free shipping today, use the code blank, link here. Now that's it, that's a whole text. This sequence usually converts anywhere between 50 to 25% of cart abandonments, depending on the category, depending on your niche. And this is the kind of number that is going to pay for the Omnisend bill itself, because it's so small. I like their balls. Now, your play number 4 is going to be your restock alerts. Now, if you sell anything that goes in and out of stock, your SMS play for restock alerts is just, this is probably going to be the single highest converting SMS type that you are ever going to send. Like, it's not even close to anything. The text has to be super simple. Hey, it's back, tap here to grab it again. Sephora does this very well with me. So you want to send out to customers that have wish list, like a specific SKU within like the last 90 days. You may want to send this for a super hot trending item that, you know, it's a hot seller and then it goes in and out of stock. Conversion rates can be anywhere between like 30 and 40% for these types of texts. And I know those numbers sound like made up, but I looked it up. I looked it up before I recorded this video. Restock SMS is literally the cheat code that brands are still ignoring. Play number 5 is going to be your VIP tier SMS. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to pull out the top 5% of your customers. Now, these are your customers that reorder without having to receive a discount code. These are the guys that refer their friends. These are the guys who reply to your post-purchase email sequences with like long emails. Hey, that's where email marketing works really well too. So send these people some text that the rest of the list doesn't see. That can be like early access, quick founders notes that can also lead to an email, or like tell them to read their email. Surprise drops can be like bundle deals, anything that's maybe not on the site. Now, make sure you treat them like they are the VIPs, because they actually are. So don't send this text to everybody pretending it's just for VIP, because that's not cool. Send it to only the VIP people. So it can be like top 5%, top 10%, but not like 80% of your list. Now that single tier, when done properly, can also end up driving 15 to 25% of total SMS revenue. And that usually comes from like 200 to 500 numbers on the 40,000 SMS list. The math on that is borderline unfair. And we had a topic in another video on brands that treat their VIP customers the same as like the masses, like the Gen Pop. You can't do that. You gotta treat your VIPs like VIPs. So this is your opportunity. And the last play is going to be your subscription replenishment. Now, if you sell consumables, you need a running low SMS at 45-day mark, whatever it makes sense for when, right before people are replenishing. So what you wanna do is you wanna avoid your customers going to the store and say, shoot, I'm running out of blank, and they're gonna pick up something off the shelf. So the text should be something like, heads up, you're running low on product, tap here to reorder. Or set up a subscription and get 20% off going forward, and you'll never have to run out of product again. Now, this single SMS on consumables can run anywhere between like 10 to 20% of your SMS revenue. And this is going to be repeat purchases without you spending any extra dollars in acquisition. It's a beautiful life. Now, those are the 6 sorted by impact if I had to pick. If you're running 0 of them right now, what you have is not an SMS program. You have someone who pushes a button and blasts and broadcasts and then complaining that SMS doesn't work. And that ends up a leak with phone numbers attached to it. Now, the reason I was spending so much time on SMS in a video that's nominally about Omnisend price drop is because 2 things are the same story. SMS was already the highest ROI in your stack. Per message, nothing else comes close. And now the cost per message just dropped anywhere between 30 to 50% on a platform that all Ecom brands should be on. So the math that you were thinking about months ago when you were talking, should we invest more in SMS? Should we actually spend money on acquiring those phone numbers? Complete different equation right now. So if you've been on the fence about putting real money, real strategy, real people into SMS, the fence just disappeared. You should be sending more of them to smarter segments with better copy on a platform that doesn't bill you like it's 2019. And that's the whole video in a paragraph, in a text. Now, last thing, the thing that genuinely surprised me about this whole Omnisend story, they're also running a 5-day free migration program. So if you're currently stuck on Klaviyo or Attentive of something else that bills you a little bit more than you want it to be billed for SMS, Omnisend's team will move the entire setup for both SMS and email marketing, by the way, for you in just 5 days. That's automations, that's templates, that's your list, flows, suppressions, whole thing. 5 days for free. I've done this for a very long time. I've watched migrations take 6 months internally. I've watched migrations not happen because of the thought of them taking 6 months internally. Because everybody's terrified of the person that broke the flow. And the right to be terrified. Again, I've done this for a very long time. And when your SMS or your email marketing flow breaks, it's a show. Now, 5 days with a team doing the work, an expert team doing the work, that's a whole different conversation. So I put a client through this recently. She was on Attentive for the last, I think it was about 3 years. They were paying like close to 20 grand a year in SMS and email marketing. 3 flows in her account were broken for like 6 months and nobody noticed. Now, that Omnisend moved her over in just 5 days, fixed the broken flows, documented its setup so her team finally knew what they had, and then just went in business. And she paid about 35% less than she was paying before. Now her SMS dropped to 0.7 cents per text. Same program, better support. And then she actually texted me afterwards, because texts are for friends. She was like, hey, I think I got away with something. I'm like, yeah, babe, you did. Okay, wrapping up, there's a landing page for Omnisend below where you can get 30% off for the first 3 months if you sign up through my referral link. And if you get value from this, please hit subscribe. I like to do videos on growth strategies for e-commerce brands, mostly in the wellness and longevity space, without the BS. And if you got SMS or email questions, please drop them below. I read everything. And if you've been meaning to migrate from like a very mean, expensive platform for like the last year, this is your sign. Oh, look, see, it's a sign. The universe is handing you the easiest decision you'll make this quarter. Small bill, big balls. Calm down. It's about SMS pricing.